Are you tired of these ab machines that don't produce any results? Do you want to get ripped? Introducing the AbMat Pro with air conditioning technology. You can work out in the office, in the car.
Chris, you're such a good driver. How are you doing this?
I wish I could be working on my abs just like you.
Your six-pack looks sick.
While watching TV, even while you sleep.
Hi, my name is Dr. Abdominal. I'm the leading researcher in six-pack development. The AbMat was tested in 5 patients, all of them who exhibited full muscular activation in all of the core muscles. This is the EMG activity when doing regular sit-ups and crunches. This is the EMG activity while using the AbMat. Clearly, the AbMat is dope.
Hello ma'am, how are you today? Well, that's good, alright. My name is Moses and I'm a AbMat salesman. Do you have any six-packs in your house? Not beer. I mean abs, like these. Let me show you how it's done.
No.
Yo, it's the AbMat guy. Bring him in here. I want to see it.
Yeah. You've seen me on TV before. Alright.
Ever since the AbMat guy knocked on my door, my life has changed forever. My abs have never been better. I'm actually working out right now, and you didn't even notice. Thanks, AbMat.
The crunch and its many variations have long been considered a staple exercise in fitness programs, but some professionals question whether performing flexion-based spinal exercises places unnecessary stress on the spine. There is a belief among fitness professionals that the spine has a finite number of bending cycles, and exceeding this limit will hasten the onset of vertebral degeneration. Based on this theory, spinal flexion should be saved for activities of daily living rather than wasted on crunches and other flexion-based spinal activities.
The learning objectives for this lecture are: number 1, be able to describe the pros and cons of dynamic spinal flexion. Number 2, list some possible side effects of repetitive spinal flexion. And number 3, provide 3 exercises that would work the abdominals without putting the body through loaded dynamic spinal flexion movements.
please find a partner and answer the following questions. 1. How do you personally train for your rectus abdominis? And 2. Does anyone in the class include exercises that incorporate spinal flexion in their workouts? You have 3 minutes.
These are the pros and cons of spinal flexion. The first benefit of spinal flexion is increased spinal flexibility and mobility. In a study done by El Nager et al., they compared the effects of spinal flexion and extension exercises on low back pain severity and thoracolumbar spinal mobility in chronic mechanical low back pain patients. The study found that either spinal flexion or extension exercises could be used to reduce chronic mechanical low back pain severity, but the flexion exercises had an advantage in increasing the sagittal mobility within a short period of time. The second benefit of spinal flexion is that it improves muscular power in the abdominal muscles. A study done by Thomas compared the effects of different abdominal exercise programs on abdominal muscular function and physique. He determined that subjects in the abdominal crunch group improved their muscular power in a timed sit-up task.
The third benefit of spinal flexion is facilitation of nutrient delivery to the intervertebral disc. A study done by Adams and Hutton investigated the effect of posture on diffusion into lumbar intervertebral discs. The results showed that a flexed spinal position favors diffusion into the posterior half of the disc by deforming the annulus fibrosus. The following image shows that moving the spine allows the spinal fluid to circulate freely, therefore increasing absorption by the disc.
The first detriment to spinal flexion is that lumbar flexion is the main mechanism for disc herniation. A study done by Callahan et al. Utilized a porcine model and exposed it to highly repetitive flexion and extension motion with compressive force. The results concluded that flexion and extension contributed to higher rates of disc herniation. The following X-ray shows a specimen under compressive load both prior and following repeated trials. The arrow indicates the posterior tracking of the die, indicating a herniation.
The second detriment to spinal flexion is generation of low back pain. A review done by Bratton argues that pain is elicited with forward flexion and is the most common response in low back pain patients. This usually reflects mechanical causes.
The third disadvantage of spinal flexion is the facilitation of poor posture. An article by Hemming states that poor posture is due to repeatedly bending the torso with the head forward, chest slumped, and rounded shoulders. The following image from Schamberger's book indicates that performing abdominal crunches increases the risk of malalignment, specifically with the addition of a torsional component.
Here's a list of possible side effects of repetitive spinal flexion: herniated disc, dislocation, subluxation, low back pain, pinched nerve, spinal fracture, muscle strains, and ligament sprains.
In this scenario, you are a personal trainer. A client with a history of low back pain comes in and he would like to develop a six-pack for the coming summer months. What exercises would you recommend for him? With a partner, discuss the best and most efficient way to train the abdominal muscles with the least risk of injury. You have 3 minutes. The first recommended exercise is a half-kneeling cable core press. Attach a D handle or resistance band at chest height to a cable machine. Kneel alongside the machine with one knee, the knee closest to the machine, bent at 90 degrees, and the other knee on the floor. Grab the handle with both hands, hold it in front of your chest as shown, and brace your abs. Slowly press your arms in front of you until they are straight. Hold without letting your body rotate, and bring them back to your chest. Turn around and work your other side. The second recommended exercise is the wood chopper. Start with your arms extended, holding the medicine ball up and to your right. Bring the medicine ball down in a wood chopping motion towards your left foot. During this motion, your feet stay stationary and you rotate at your trunk. Repeat this motion for the desired repetitions and then repeat in the opposite direction. The third recommended exercise is a side plank with the knee tuck on the right side. Begin in a side plank position with your weight supported on your forearm and your ankles stacked on top of each other. Your body should form a straight line from your ear to your ankle. Lift your top leg, bending your knee to bring your foot next to the inside of your straight knee. Hold that position. Slowly return your leg to the stacked position. Switch sides.
Based on current research, it is premature to conclude that the human spine has a limited number of bending cycles. Claims about dynamic flexion exercises being detrimental to the spine in healthy individuals is highly speculative and based on vitro animal data.
Although it appears that a large number of continuous bending cycles may ultimately have a negative effect on spinal tissues, no evidence suggests that a low-volume strength-based exercise routine will advance the onset of disc degeneration.
Based on our research, we believe that crunches should be avoided as the benefits do not outweigh the risks. Performing core exercises that do not engage in spinal flexion elicits similar benefits and maintains spinal health.